Previously on Astonishing Spider-Man, after breaking up with Mary Jane, Peter's life suddenly changed. He broke all the connections from the outside world, making his distance from his friends and family members. And that time, one of his good friends, John Stone, advised Peter to go outside and find his true love. And then Peter meets a girl, Linda Lowe. They go on a date, try to understand each other, but Linda finds Peter boring. He didn't bring his wallet, relying on Linda to pay the bills on their first date. But as she tried to leave, the couple are confronted by a mutated creature. So leaving his date, Peter jumps into action in his Spidey suit. But during the fight, a new hero appears, helps Spidey to defeat the creature. She also stole Spidey's other name and declares herself as the Wayback. But later it reveals this hero is actually Linda Lowe, who is working for some secret organization, helping them to capture these creatures. But Linda is new to this city and doesn't know anyone, so she gives Peter another chance to continue their date. But there are a lot of problems going on in Peter's life. A new crime lord has risen, threatening all the people's life that Peter cares. The crime lord also knows who Spider-Man is, and on top of that, MJ is convincing Peter to quit being Spider-Man as being the hero. It is hurting everyone that Peter cared the most. And also the current relation with Shay Marken is not going well. They are in an open relationship, and there is Wayback, who is trying to seduce Spider-Man. But Peter finds something is not right with this girl, so he decides to move on. But one day, while patrolling the city, Spidey is confronted by a street-level criminal, and she hits him with the unmerged gun that separates Peter from his spider powers. He becomes normal, but then Peter decides to live the rest of his life as a normal person, as being Spider-Man is always got him into a trouble. Reed Richards makes a new device that can help Peter to return his powers back, but Peter rejects that. He loves his regular life, enjoying with friends, focusing on his career, but it comes with a cost, as in the absence of Spider-Man, a little girl dies due to a fire explosion. Peter failed to save her, and that time he decides to get his powers back. Reed helps him to regain his powers, but it seems Peter also gained a major upgrade. He one-punches things, surprises the Fantastic Four. Even Peter is shocked. He gained massive power boost, ability to fly. He even becomes stronger than the rest of the Avengers. But then the problem begins. Peter's body is unable to hold all the upgraded powers. He screams in pain and started glowing like a star. And then it reveals Peter is about to explode within the next 20 minutes. So with no choice left, Peter flies into space. He is going to sacrifice himself to save the Earth and the people he loves. And then he sees his entire life, those people that he saved, the happy moments with his Aunt May, the journey with his true love, Mary Jane. Peter also meets the cosmic gods, infinity and eternity, and then he appears at the end of the time. He is about to explode, but then Peter is pulled away into a portal, and there he meets a man, the writer of Astonishing Spider-Man, Scott Ackerman. Peter is in real world, but then the writer gives him the bad news. Spider-Man has been cancelled. Welcome to Comicstube YouTube channel. In today's video, we will review the final chapter of Astonishing Spider-Man issue 36. You can get all the previous parts on this playlist. So if you guys are new here, please subscribe and turn on all the notifications to never miss any future uploads. Please like, comment and share. All the text and images are owned by its respected company. You can support them by purchasing it digitally or from any offline stores. The issue opens up in the real world. Peter gets shocked hearing the writer that he has been cancelled, but he can't understand what is he talking about. So Scott says he's not talking about him, he's talking about the book, the one he was writing. Actually, it was an online web comic, The Astonishing Spider-Man. Just as he finished writing issue 32, Marvel cancelled it. He was in the middle of his story. He was also about to make 3 major cliffhangers, but Marvel ruined everything. Hearing all this, Peter gets stunned. He can't believe that he is a comic book character, and the man standing in front of him is his creator. So Scott makes a correction that he did not create him. He was just the guy who took care of him for a while. After hearing the writer, Peter then figures out this man is responsible for making his life hell. Scott again replies, only a part of it. And then he shows the storyline chart, which takes place in the main continuity. Astonishing Spider-Man happened after the scenes of Goblin, and then his date with Shay Marken, the 8 dates of Spider-Man, and now in the current issue. But Peter is working at the Rand Enterprise. Scott apologizes for creating Crime Lord, but he also added funds in Peter's life, especially introducing Linda Lowe and their case. But Peter Peter can't understand why the writers always do this to him. Why can't he just find a nice girl to settle down in life and be done with all the dramas? So Scott says no girls are permanent in Peter's life, as it will make boring comics. People love dramas and Peter Parker is the perfect candidate for it. Peter has admitted that nothing can change his Parker love, but he tries to convince Scott not to give up. No matter how difficult the changes are, he still can write. And hearing Peter's speech, Scott gets motivated and he decides to go back to plan B. He can make millions of dollars by writing movies and TV shows. Peter is also ready to go back to his regular life, so he asks him to return him to his dimension. But before he could realize the danger, Scott pulls a chair and smashes it at Spidey's back. If he can't fight Spider-Man, then nobody can. He can't let him out of this comic book alive. Peter can't understand. He thought Scott was his fan, and he says he still is. In fact, he's Spider-Man's biggest fan, but he can't let him out of here and allow someone else to write Spider-Man instead of him. So he has decided to lock him up in his office. They can hang out. He always wanted a best friend. But then Peter quickly jumps, attempts to wave him up, but the web shooters aren't working. The writer is doing all this. He reminds Peter that it's his comic. He can do whatever he wants. Neither he can use web nor his super strength to take him down. Peter quickly realizes he can't physically hurt him, and as he is a comic book character, so he can go back to previous issue and get some of his webbing from there. So Peter wraps up the page, takes his web and stakes Scott into the wall. The writer can easily tear the webs. He has all the powers here. So Peter then reminds Scott what his Uncle Ben used to say about great powers. Scott then remembers the quote, and soon he realizes what he was doing to Spidey was totally wrong. With his great powers, it is his responsibility to let Peter to go back to his own book, The Amazing Spider-Man comic. He can write that. He thanks Spidey for everything he has done for him. Working with him, it was a dream comes true. He then apologizes for putting him in all those troubles. Peter forgives him, and he rushes towards Amazing Spider-Man. Chapter 6, The Astonishing Spider-Man has been cancelled, and Peter is returned to his main continuity. He doesn't remember any of this except the readers. Scott hopes that someday he will get the permission to reopen this comic. He wants to tell the readers more about Webhead and her gang, the love story between Peter Parker and Linda Lo, the real identity of Crime Lord who knew who Spider-Man was. But until then, he wants Spider-Man to be astonishing. And with this, the final chapter of Astonishing Spider-Man comes to a close. So which part you like the most? Please let me know on the comment section down below, and please like this video and do subscribe, as this will motivate me to make more contents. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.